Hungry dogs run fast.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome into my dog's favorite podcast, the Dynasty Dogs, brought to you by the Fantasy Football Universe. I am your host for this evening, Michael Anthony. Alongside me, as always, is the man who's never rooted for a heel wrestler in his life, my good friend, Rich McAteer. How are you, Rich?
That's false, Randy Orton. Always root for Randy Orton.
True. But he's been kind of the guy who flip-flop between face and heel,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like, you know. But you've never rooted for a true heel in your entire lifetime.
Never will.
Never will. But alongside us, we have a very special guest in the doghouse tonight. You can follow him at _Nino Brown _. How are you tonight, Nino? Tell us what's going on.
I'm happy to be back. It's been a while. I think last time we were together was the draft, right?
Yep.
Is Triple H considered a heel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of
Well, when he was in
but I
DX,
feel
I guess not. I don't know.
that was like an anti-hero thing. Like, you know, with DX, he was kind of like the Deadpool character in Marvel where he's like a good guy / bad guy.
Yeah, but then he turned on them, right?
Yeah,
and then he brought Shawn Michaels back. And so
It was the whole thing.
I'm going to go with Shawn Michaels is going to be my best heel. I had to. I mean, when he kicked that dude, he kicked his own partner through the
Kicked
glass.
Marty Jannetty right in the chin.
Yeah, bro, they were like brothers. That's the ultimate heel right now.
Yeah,
right? And then he was the Playboy ever since. He got famous and bigger after he healed. So I got to say, I wrote probably the ultimate heel.
Right now, my favorite guy of all time from your neck of the woods is doing a whole heel thing, and I got to watch every week. That's John Cena. So I'm rooting for him. You know what I mean?
He's getting old. He's got to keep the shirt on, bro. He's getting a little old.
I know, dude. The veins are like popping out, dude. I'm like, come on.
The Rock's got him under his wing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, all three of us could still not beat him in a fight. We would still get
No. But when you saw John come in originally, you know what I mean? Think about the first time he dropped Can't See Me to now.
Yeah.
Right, true.
Right.
Speaking of Marty Jannetty, that dude never recovered from that. He was never the same ever again.
Nope.
You know, tell us about what's going on. You got going on in CFB Nation and everything you're doing, because I know you do a lot. You're all over social media.
Dude, CFB Nation, the guys over CFB Nation right now are killing it with the live coverage. We've been at ACC Media Days. We were at Big 12 Media Days. They were at American Conference Media Days. Right now, they're at FAU Fall Camp. They're going to be, I think they might even be in Miami Fall Camp by the end of the week. So we're like boots on the ground diving into everything's college football right now. I got the shows lined up, Overreaction Mondays. I'll be having CFB Prime dropping again soon, and as well as, Beantown Brew. That's my Boston College-based, podcast. So we're loaded, and we're just continuing to grow. We're getting more access. So keep on lookout for the CFB Nation on all platforms.
Are you doing anything? Are you going out to any
I'll be
of
at
Boston College
yeah,
stuff?
BC. Yeah, I'll be at BC. I'm gonna try to get up there, not this weekend because I'll be on vacation, but the following weekend I'm gonna catch Saturday and Sunday practices. So I'll be on the ground.
Anybody we should be paying attention to from Boston College? I know we're going to ask you about 2026 draft, but is there anybody at Boston College, offensive, defense, that we should like?
Yeah, Crouch, the defensive guy, linebacker, stud, just an absolute downhill threat. But I mean, we're gonna have to see what's going on with this quarterback room right now. It's kind of in question. Dylan Longerman, kid came over from Alabama. Bill O'Brien got ties to him, and then they got the tight end that came over as well from Alabama. So there's already a connection there. But Grayson James proved last season that he can carry this team. Kind of stealing away from Thomas Castellanos, who's now over at Florida State. So it's still early. You know what I mean? I like Lewis Bond, but he got to show me a little bit more in the wide receiver room and growth, maybe down the stretch. Maybe he could be a late end wide receiver, drafted. But right now, my eyes are on that quarterback room. I want to see who's going to be QB1, and then, then all things can go from that.
It's crazy. I get new Wi-Fi. Came out. They gave me new
about.
wires. They gave me. I got a new laptop, and it's got fucking progressively worse. So Comcast, if you're listening, I have no other options. Like I can't get Verizon in my neighborhood. I'm about to cut a heel promo on fucking Comcast.
Are you plugged in? Or are you
no, I can't. I could, but my dogs would trip over the wire and shit like that. I would have to go to another room.
Well, why don't you put the box in your room?
Then I got to get Comcast to come out and run new wire.
Why wouldn't you just put it in the room to begin with, Mike?
Yeah.
Come on, you dropped the
Oh,
ball,
my
bro.
God, dude. This is amateur hour, man.
It is amateur hour at the Dynasty Dogs. Real last question about Boston College. I got cut off there. Is there anybody that replaces Donovan as a rock boot on the line?
Not that production right now. I
No.
think that might be something that we'll get in a year or two from these up and coming prospects, but I don't think we're going to get not right off. This is you talk about a guy that we talked about to be a potential first round pick, you know what I mean, and fell and it's looking like could possibly be a dude for the Cowboys this year. It's going to be. I don't think Hutchinson can fill that role. We showed a little bit of flashes last year, but I don't. It took Donovan 2 years to kind of. We saw a little bit his junior season, and the senior year kind of just grew. So I don't think you're going to get any of that right off the rip. Now, McConnell at the defensive line, defense tackle is good, and like I said, Hutchinson is good, but I don't think you're going to get that production this year out of them. So I think this linebacker room, like that's why Davion Crouch is a guy to watch out for, as well as Owen McGowan. So it's like Jaden Blackwell. These are all guys that can be disruptive if they can open up these gaps. So these guys shoot, man. Those guys are the pounders.
I didn't love that him and Rebel went to the Cowboys, even though Rebel kind of looks like he's still banged up. But not happy for Dallas to have it add to Micah Parsons coming off the edge as well. But let's get into what we got going on for tonight. First, we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame game. Then we're going to talk about Nino's under-the-radar 2026 player that he has for us. And then, as of course, we are going to go over our Dogs and Doghouse for the AFC East. That should be a very fun conversation because this division is a little bit kind of up in the air right now. But let's get into the Hall of Fame game. We finally have legit NFL football now, right? We finally have, even though it's not really legit.
I don't know if I would use legit as a description for this.
Listen, things are going to happen.
Uniform.
Yeah, they're in uniform.
Right.
They're going to be hitting each other. There's going to be dudes that are trying to earn a spot on a roster, maybe even the first starting offense, starting defense. So we'll see what happens there. Is there anybody you're watching for tomorrow night, Rich, for the Chargers and Lions?
You know what? I don't know why, but I'm like completely intrigued by Trey Lance and I'm assuming Hendon Hooker's gonna play. But I mean, like, no, not really. I just want to see if Trey Lance has anything in the tank. I doubt it.
And then Hendon Hooker too.
I like Hendon Hooker, dude. But
and I think they got DJ Ukulele or from Clemson or
TJ Ukulele from Clemson and Florida State, and where else he went? I think
every
he went to
school
15
possible.
Different colleges. He was I think he started at Oregon State. Yeah,
Everywhere's been.
Yeah.
So. Anybody you're watching for tomorrow, Nino?
I don't know if I'm watching per se for people, more so for things that I want to see. Like I want to see how much Isaac Tesla gets playing time here. Like, because Tim Patrick's kind of older, but we have seen Tim Patrick on the latter end of the last season catch some, pivotal touchdowns for the Lions in games. So I want to see, because Tesla's been showing out in camp, but again, they're in shorts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You got your soft helmets on, you can just throw around doing whatever. But I want to see that. If Quentin Johnson's out there to start the game off, I don't know, man. I see a lot of film. He catches one, and then again, we're right back to Quentin Johnson having, Popeye's chicken, and there goes the ball. So it's like, I want to see that. They're saying that Mari Hampton's going to play, so you guys, I know you'll be very happy about that. So that'll be something interesting to see. And then, outside of that, I don't.
You got Trey Harris.
I don't think Trey Harris is going to play much, bro.
He is. Well, he's playing, they said.
I don't think he's going to play much. I think you're going to see him maybe first quarter, and then he's going to be, kind of coming out. I don't think you're going to see any of Ladd McConkey either.
No, I don't think so.
Risk these guys. But I mean, Trey probably gets, like I said, 3 series, and they're going to probably. If they want to get him reps, they also don't want to, kill this kid either.
Yeah, right. That there has taken out a few people in its heyday, so we got to be very careful out there. I am interested to see Omari and Hampton. Obviously, this isn't going to win him the starting job or the Hall of Fame game or anything like that, but we get to see him play an actual NFL game. Najee Harris is still
blew out his eyeball, dude. I'm pretty sure he's got the he's got
He's
the
not-
start
they
and run
signed
RB1.
Yeah, what's his face? They signed a guy.
Oh, they
Did
did.
they?
You're right.
Yeah,
they
they signed
signed.
someone.
Who was it?
It was
That's
a veteran. Hold on, he should
Yeah.
be.
They did. I forget who. I know exactly who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name.
What's his name? I don't. And they have depth. They have Vidal. They have Rocket Raheem Sanders. They have Hassan Hankins from Michigan, who went to Tennessee. You know, was there in Tennessee for a couple years. But they signed a veteran guy like 2 days ago.
Yeah, they did. I'm trying to look at.
I also want to see my dude, my possible tight end one this year. Rookies, Rondé Gatson. I think in this system.
Oh, yeah. Did they say he's going to play?
He should play. He's listed as like 2 or 3 on the depth chart. I think Will Disley is tight end.
They got
one?
Disley there, and they got Tyler Conklin.
But
Yeah, but they're both on 1-year deals, so I feel like next year's probably
groomers. They're pass pro guys and groomers, bro.
Right.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
Gatson is just a freak of nature. He gives me. I've been telling Mike for a while. He gives me like the new age Jimmy Graham outside of going to Arctic Nation and rowing in a boat. You see Jimmy Graham lately? He just like rowed all across the Arctic Ocean for like 13 straight days.
Did he?
Oh
really?
yeah, him and the crew. Oh yeah, they didn't sleep. They went like 16-hour shifts, dude.
That sounds awful.
that doesn't sound fun.
Nothing
Like
about
break a
that sounds
record or
great.
something. I don't know, but then he retired.
Yeah,
from
they can
football
keep
after
that record. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Vidal is another person to probably watch. Could he carve himself out? I liked Vidal coming out of Troy. Really good after contact kind of player, but does he really have the juice to be a full-time NFL back? He's probably a decent, rotational guy, second, third running back on the depth chart, depending if Najee Harris is back. Obviously, that's Najee's job to lose at RB2, but I mean, they've got some pieces. Naeem Hines, there it is.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it. Everything I looked up that said, Chargers running back signing, they gave me Rashawn Slater. I was like, that's not a fucking running back. But
That's a whole nother
listen to
story.
this.
God, you hear that shit? He gets divorced and the whole wife thing. Like, oh,
wait, what?
I'll tell you.
he got signed his papers for his divorce and everything got finalized. 48 hours later, he signs that big contract. 48 hours later. Slater. No,
Good for
Rashawn
him.
Slater with like $143 million, 100-something million.
Oh, yeah.
48
Okay.
hours after the divorce papers went through. So
Not
she
getting
got
a
nothing.
single piece of that. Nice.
Come on.
Good for him.
You don't think the Chargers hooked that boy up?
Yeah, right.
I can't. That's got to be rough, to be honest with you.
And then she went on like social media saying, "You got to. Why? I don't even want to be involved. It has nothing to do with me. It's supposed to be about his special day or whatever." But like, it just looking sketchy. It looks bad.
he went into office like, please help me. Please,
I signed on the
please.
26th, on the 28th with Gucci, bro.
Yeah, right.
What were you going to say about Naeem Hines, Rich? I think you had something.
No, I was gonna say, dude, I'm 33 years old and I just found out what Chat GPT is. GPT is. So I'm like, yo, I was like, yo, what running back did the Chargers just sign? The most recent running back signed by the Chargers is Naeem Hines. Official July 22nd, 2025. And I'm like, that was like instantaneous, dude. I was like, nice.
Is it Grok? Whatever it is.
I'm really.
You gotta answer that too.
I'm really nervous for you to have that. I feel like I'm just gonna get random facts throughout the day from now
You
on.
ready, boy? You
Dude,
ready?
and
You ready?
it's instant, dude. It's instant. I love it.
But yeah, this should be, a fun game for the rookies. Now, speaking of rookies, obviously not of this class, but Nino, is there anybody in the 2026 class we should keep an eye on that could be in the Hall of Fame game next year?
I got 2 wide receivers. All right.
Okay.
Bigger guys, 6'4", 6'2". But one guy's kind of ran through the meat ringer because he's had to do everything on his own. Now he's on a team with like some serious big boys, serious talent. I'm gonna go with Deshaun Stribling, wide receiver out of Oklahoma State. He's now in Ole Miss. I mean, this guy is a route runner. This guy is electric. Outside presence, can stretch the ball downfield. Everything you want in that true outside guy. And he, last year alone, he had 52 for 882 and 6 touchdowns. Oklahoma State was irrelevant. He had more yards than Ollie Gordon, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, he was the team. And they were throwing with a quarterback who barely got to 60% completion percentage and had a 16-12 touchdown interception ratio.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
so
everything
he did something with that, yeah.
Was to the dude. I mean, granted, Brendan Presley was a great slot receiver, but he was a possession guy. His ADOT was less than 5. I mean, My guy Stribling was as like 12, 8, and 14 in the past 2 seasons. So he's a downfield threat. He's a dude. Now he's on Ole Miss. He's probably going to be wide receiver 1. Granted, they're going with a first-time young quarterback in Austin Simmons. But in the SEC, if he puts up those type of numbers, we've seen with Trey Harrison coming over for a lot of Tech back-to-back seasons. Bro, if he can put – we've seen what they've done for the Ole Miss with wide receivers for the past, 8 to 10 years?
DK, AJ Brown, the big body guys.
Elijah Moore, like they just turn them out, right? And we've seen Trey Harris recently, Juice Wells, injuries concerned, but you've seen guys consistently come out of Ole Miss. I think he's the next guy. I'm not saying he's a second, third round guy. He could be late third round, early fourth. All depends on the production this year. But if he can mirror that, I think he can get more than that. But if he can mirror that this year in the SEC, I think it's the guy they're going to be talking about. And another guy that I really like, I'm talking about that deep threat, that Marsha guy out in BYU, Chase Roberts, 6'4", 210. I mean, this is a guy,
6'4". Oh,
contested catch machine, red zone target, but got that shimmy to him. He's not going to make it easy for you off the line of scrimmage. He's a zone killer. This guy just finds that open space, knows to sit down and again, deep ball presence, where the boundary. We'll watch him, make some acrobatic catches last year with Retzlaff at quarterback. He's obviously gone. Seems like it's going to be Bear Bachmeier, the freshman at quarterback, but you're going to want a solid guy on the outside that you can rely on. Again, you're putting up, 16.4 yards per catch. I'm taking that. This is a guy I'm looking at going down for next year. 854 yards. He had 52 receptions, so it's
big play.
Yeah, he's a big play potential guy. You look at guys in the draft that get picked up, Keon Coleman, guys, and maybe they didn't have success, but even Jalen Hyatt, big play guys, taller guys, with those contested catch, they get drafted and they get drafted high. I think this kid's got talent. I know he's out in BYU now, but if he can put up those numbers, in BYU again with a young freshman quarterback, watch out.
He could get some decent capital. Kind of the way you're describing him is kind of like a Jaden Higgins, I guess you could say.
Yeah, maybe not as much. I think Higgins has a little more weight to him, but more muscle tone. But yeah, to that side, go up and get the ball, physical on the outside. He's not going to shake and bake it, but he got enough to get loose and create a little bit of space in McGroup. Like I said, both of those guys could be Senior Bowl guys or Shrine Bowl guys who could just ball out. And then once you get to the underwear Olympics, my man disappeared again like David Copperfield. Then you don't know what
is
happen.
going on, dog.
He got the gremlins in there, bro.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Gone.
He's going again, dude.
Doing that voodoo stuff.
Dude, he's like, I got everything set up. This ghosts.
Yeah. What do you got there? St. Joseph's?
Yeah, man.
Nice.
St. Joe's basketball, man.
All right.
I don't know if you peep this. I don't know if it's going to hurt at all, but got that Super Bowl champion koozie, and not the one from last year though. That's my boy Chris Long on that one.
Okay.
Oh, I see you got the Patriots hat on, so
yeah. I got I got the shirt. I got the gear. I'm excited for this year, but other than that, it's been rough.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what? I can't say I feel bad, dude. He's had too much success up there.
Yeah.
And I take all the smoke. I understand.
Yeah.
I got 20 years of it, but I'm 44, right? So I got the Bledsoe, the end of Grogan, and all that shit that was there for a very long time. You know what I mean? When your best receiver goes by the name of Vincent Brisby for about 8 years. Yeah.
Jeez, I don't know who the hell that is. So that sounds awful.
That's a bust out name that I can't even recognize.
Go look him up, dude. He was a stud for New England for like 5 years, but he was like Deion Branch before Deion Branch. You know what I mean?
I was going to say Branch. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's bringing up the New England Patriots. Let's get into our breakdown of the AFC East. I'll go first here with the Buffalo Bills, and I'm going to start with my dog house. And this is a guy, Nino, you and I talked about on this CFB podcast, or the show that we did briefly. James Cook. I know you were very high on James Cook. I'm a little concerned about him. 207 carries last year, 1,009 yards, 4.9 a carry, 16 rushing touchdowns, added 2 receiving touchdowns at 18 touchdowns total. This is a guy right now who's looking for a contract, wants a big payday from the Buffalo Bills. He showed up to camp. I love to see it. but he's not practicing, if I'm not mistaken. Ray Davis is getting some reps. They really like Ray Davis. It would not shock me if they start using Ray Davis a bit more in this offense as a guy who's a really good in between the tackles runner, strong runner, and a very solid pass catcher, underrated pass catching ability with Ray Davis. My biggest thing with James Cook is if he goes elsewhere, is he as effective without the Buffalo Bills offensive line, without Josh Allen? I think it's also fair to say that there's going to be some TD regression here. 18 touchdowns for a running back is pretty astronomical. That's kind of hard to replicate year in and year out. Could he be? He's been a guy who's been, 6-7 TDs a year. I think that's fair. Even 10, add in a few pass catching touchdowns. I just don't know if he's got that kind of, elite upside where you're seeing 18 touchdowns a year, or even 15 for that matter. So I am concerned if he gets dealt elsewhere or signed elsewhere, if he's the same running back he is. His ADP is not the worst. He's going around guys like Ken Walker, Chuba Hubbard, Derrick Henry, RJ Harvey, Chase Brown. There's a few guys there I would take James Cook over, but, Derrick Henry, I'm not. RJ Harvey, I'm not. Chuba Hubbard, a guy who just got paid, who's just been a consistent running back. I don't even know if I'm taking James Cook over Hubbard right now because I know he's locked into that offense, right? So I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Am I wrong for being out on James Cook, or is this probably a fair assessment?
How far out are you?
Yeah.
If I could still get like a mid to late first for him, I think I would do it.
It'd be hard to get a mid to late first with everything that's going on right now.
You think
Right?
so?
Yeah. I just took him at 6-1 in our draft. I don't remember what you said his ADP was, but I took him at 6-1.
Yeah, but he's still going around guys like that you have to pay late for, like that 108 to 111 range, like Harvey, Henry, Chase, Chuba. Like all those guys are in that same price range. So you have to get that up to get
Chase
him.
what?
Chase Brown.
Chase Brown, you said, what did you say? What number?
Like the 108 to 111. You're going to have to give up to get any one of those guys.
People giving up to 108 for Chase Brown?
Yeah.
That's insane. No, did I just moved it? I just moved him in draft.
What dispensary are they going to? Where they're giving up to 108 for Chase Brown?
Listen,
Dude, I tried moving Chase Brown.
A lot of hype for Chase Brown.
I know. I'm leading the pack, dude. But I tried moving
Chase
him.
Brown, but he might not even be RB1 on that team by the end of the year.
Oh boy, that's a whole nother discussion.
I don't know who. Yeah.
Who was the young gentleman they just drafted?
Brooks.
Tajay Brooks. Yeah, the man who led all of college football, 132 games, yards after contact not this season, the season before.
Oh, shit.
The year that Ollie Gordon and Damian Martinez went off, and he was still the best yards after contact.
I
suppose a good argument.
The short
we get stuck in this recency bias shit. He only gave us 8 games, and Texas Tech sucked monkey balls last year, so we're not going to worry about Tajay Brooks, right? Never mind, they were on their 4th-string quarterback, and everybody stacked the box on a team that had no receivers except for Caleb Douglas.
It's fair. Like I said, I think he's a good between the tackles player, but I don't think he's like the home run hitter that Chase Brown is. He's a good, I'm not comping them, but like a David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs type role that those two have. The guy's going to get you short yardage, goal line reps. Chase Brown's a guy that could be the home run hitter. I think they complement each other well. But by the way, you said nobody's doing Chase Brown for 108. Keep trade cut.
Come on, bro. That's not
dude loves this. Dude loves this fucking website.
Listen, I don't think it's the end all be all.
It's a calculated site by entries, bro. If you're smoking the devil's lettuce, go on there and just click Johnny Schmo for Johnny. You know what I mean? It's all it is. And then they give you that stupid thing that you start out with. It's like, would you trade this guy? And you click at the bottom. I don't know any of these guys. Like, come on. Like,
I don't know any of these guys.
That is the most lopsided way. There's other sites that go by. That is the most lopsided way to like kind of rank.
Listen, I'm just saying it's dead even 108 for Chase Brown.
I can't see how.
You can't see how, but like RJ Harvey's going in that range.
What about
RJ Harvey's boosted up because of the Quinshon Judkins stuff.
What do you mean? So what does Quinshon Judkins got to do with RJ Harvey?
Because RJ Harvey is now bumping up rookie drafts, or was rookie drafts.
He's not even guaranteed the RB1 yet.
I think that's a little misleading. I think J.K.
You don't
Dobbins,
think that they just signed? I know he's older, but you're going to guy got over 1,000 yards last year in J.K. Dobbins.
he's also never been
Finally,
healthy his
someone else.
entire
Finally,
NFL
someone
career.
else who agrees that like they're just giving the reins to R.J. Harvey out of nowhere is crazy. That's what I said to you.
But you're
I said,
okay, so
Jay
you're
said-
okay with giving the reins to a guy? We're getting
No,
way
I said a
off topic.
50-50 split. Everybody's saying it's
Yeah.
RB1, bro, because he's got big
I don't-
quads on a team that
Right.
that's praying to Jesus for a running back for the last 4 seasons, dude.
Listen, I think
I'm with you on that, dude. I think the hype around R.J. Harvey's insane, but
I think he's a talented running back. Right?
sure.
Again, I don't know if he's going to be week 1 RB1 that's going to go in there and be freaking, Mike Allstott right off. We're not when this guy Quadzilla 2.0 or 3.0 already, and that he's going to be RB1 and rush for 1,100 yards off rip.
So
If they were that confident, why did they get him? Why did they get the guy who can't stay healthy? If they were
because
that
they don't have
confident?
any. They didn't have you trust in Jaleel McLaughlin and Aldrich Estime to be the
They
guys
trusted him
behind.
last year. Both of those guys were there last year.
Because they
It's
were
not my
hopeful
fault.
for Javonte Williams.
It is not my fault that Aldrich Estime is doing on the sideline because he can't get reps, bro. They kept him for a reason. They could cut these guys. None of that shit's guaranteed. But they kept homeboy.
I'll be right back.
Mikey, last year at this time, we were having the same conversation that McLaughlin was going to be RB1 for Denver over Javonte Williams. No, people were.
No.
This community was.
Yeah, I believed in Javonte Williams coming into last year because he was the pass catching back. He still was one of the top targeted running backs in all of football last year. Even if he sucked ass, he still was top targeted. And I think that feeds into R.J. Harvey more than it does J.K. Dobbins. I think that's fair. Am I right or wrong?
Anointing this guy RB1 off the rip is kind of crazy. But to get back to James Cook, right? Because we kind of got swiveled.
Yeah.
Yes, they finally gave this guy the reins, though. Wasn't he fighting with another RB for the past 2 seasons? Till this season, when they gave him the RB1 role, there was always his first season there. He had 4 total touchdowns. He was a backup.
That was a Devin
And then
Singletary
he
that year, I
split
think.
time last year, not this last year, the year before that, his second season, he split time again. And they drafted 2 tight ends who they were prominently going after in that offense for the first half of the season until they realized that one of them stinks and he's not what they thought he was.
Are
Right?
you talking Dalton Kincaid?
Yeah, he just can't grasp the NFL concept.
Oh God, dude, man, dude, between Dalton Kincaid and R.J. Harvey, you're gonna send Mike off a cliff. Do you know? Let me tell you something real quick. Do you know that Mike drove alone by himself hours up to the city of Buffalo by himself, bought himself a Dalton Kincaid jersey, and went into the Buffalo Bills game by himself to see him?
I went to watch a game. I wanted to watch a game.
Get the fuck out of here! You went to go watch a game. Fucking
I
12
did.
hours from where we live.
It's 7 hours. For 7 hours.
It's just fucking far as fuck.
Second. 7 rows off the, or what was I? 5 rows off the end zone was $100. You can't even fucking sniff the link for $100.
Dog, you could.
What? No, it was a fucking Jets. I just wanted to
Jets.
see a
Yeah,
football
it was
game.
$100 for the Jets. Okay,
Listen,
dude, you ain't sitting me next to Dalton Kincaid for that fucking ride, dude. Get the fuck out of here. You got driving all the way up there.
Now your boy James Cook finally gets to be in the driver's seat, and they finally say maybe we shouldn't rush Josh Allen in the red zone 175 fucking times, right? And they give it to the guy that's supposed to get the ball, and he produces so much. They trusted this motherfucker in the playoffs. 2 out of 3 games, you put the horse on his back, and he carried you to victory. Except for the last game, obviously, because you couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
But 2 touchdowns, he was the dude for you on the ground, and he had 36 yards in the air. Bro, they've been searching for wide receivers. I know Josh Palmer's there now, and he might be the creme de la creme for them, whatever it may be. But they've been searching, and the guy that continuously puts up numbers for them is James Cook. And when they gave him the helm, he produced. And now he's looking at, resurgence of running backs have happened in the NFL. We want to talk about getting paid properly by your position. When you produce, you're supposed to get paid, correct?
that's fair, yeah.
And if anybody can, and these guys in the NFL can renegotiate contracts whenever they want every year, right? Because it's based on whatever. If you had a shitty season and your team needed to go get a guy, they're going to ask you to restructure, right?
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
guess what? I exceeded expectations, bro. Without me, we were out the first round. Without me, we're out the first round. 2 touchdowns in that game. Over 100 yards. Without James Cook, they're out the first round, baby.
So you really think that they're going to pay him that money?
No, I don't. But you're going to watch a drop off in Buffalo Bills this year.
Really?
Yes. They don't have that production in the backfield.
I don't think they have that production. We're talking 18 touchdowns, between the air and the ground. It's just I don't see that. But I think they're going to throw the ball.
Josh Allen?
I think they're going to throw the ball a bit more to the wide receivers because
of who?
I'm going to get right into my dog tag right now. Since we just talked about it, I think Keon Coleman is possible. Listen, no, Rich could back me up on this. He was the biggest Keon Coleman guy.
I was big, but I wasn't drive up to Buffalo to see him big. So
here we go. Anyway, Keon Coleman coming into his second year. A lot of positive buzz in training camp about him right now. A lot of positive buzz about him. Whether it's beat reporters, Joe Brady. Joe Brady says he loves what he's seen. The beat writers are gushing over him, saying he's been the star of days, stacking days together. Josh Allen comes out and says, this is, quote, yeah, if teams want to play post high, we've got an absolute beater on the outside. There's one-on-one. He's got so much potential. He's so smart, right? The biggest thing about Keon Coleman coming out of college was, could he beat man coverage consistently, right? Could he win routes off the line in his routes? Could he be that guy? Because we know he's an athletic freak. I think that's fair to say, right? If Josh Allen's telling me he's looking better, he's doing this, I'm all in on it. He had 556 yards last year, 4 TDs. He hits that 525 threshold for rookie wide receivers in their first year. Also missed 4 games. He started to stack some nice weeks together, 4 through 8. He had double-digit points in 3 out of those games, 19.2 yards per reception, 15.5 ADOT, just a big play threat. I think they want to get him more involved to stretch the field. I think they want to get him more involved in the yards after catch ability. I think Keon Coleman has the potential to be the stud in that offense this year.
Keon Coleman, last beat man coverage when he was a junior in high school, buddy. Okay?
Ooh.
My grandmother, who's been on the ground for over 20 years, can get more beat on man coverage off the line of scrimmage than Keon Coleman.
That's what I said. He wasn't good coming out of college doing that.
If your QB1 and your best wide receiver in the room you're looking at is Keon Coleman,
I think Khalil Shakir is the best wide receiver.
are we going to, as a quarterback, say that he's not progressing? We're going to want his confidence. Dude, this training camp is a smoke show for these prima donna football players. You got guys saying they're taking it easy on defense and schemes, making sure the quarterback has confidence and feel good.
Well, that's especially with rookies. You got to do that.
So what is Josh Allen going to say? Yeah, he's got to get better. He ain't getting separation.
I think last year, if you go back and look at some of the interviews when it came to Keon Coleman, they were very critical of him last year. Yes, it's okay. All right.
But we also heard a week ago that Josh Palmer was like his peanut butter and jelly. Like a dude was like a carabiner on to Josh Allen's hip. Everywhere he went, he was his shadow, and this was the guy. Now 3 days later, 5 days later, and now Keon Coleman is taking leaps and bounds, and it is separating. I am impressed and engaged in everything that Keon Coleman does. Fluff, baby. This is fluff time.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree. I was really high on Keon Coleman coming out, but as far as training camp stuff I take that with a grain of salt. I don't think there's going to be anyone critical saying anything worth a note.
Critical of him last
year, in general, in any type of training camp, I don't think they're going to be like, wow, he looks like shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're ever on any team is going to come out and be like that. That's why the name to watch out for. How many times have we seen guys named to watch out for that turned out to be nothing? It is what it is about training camp. They slowed training camp down, I think.
100%. Hey, what'd you say? Weeks 4 to 8?
Yeah, weeks 4 to 8.
He had good, and then what happens? Oh, they had film on Keon Coleman. They had film on Keon Coleman.
He got hurt. He missed 4 weeks.
And then he came back and did nothing.
Yeah, that's usually pretty hard for a rookie wide receiver to miss 4 weeks out of the year and then come back at the end of the season and attempt to do something.
What was it? What happened? Did he get a high ankle sprain? What is confidence?
Well, he missed 4 weeks.
What was the injury?
I don't remember. I forgot to notate it, but he did. Hold on 1 second. I'll look it up right now. I forgot to note.
You want to chat GBT?
I should have.
Come on, bro.
I'm about to ask him.
Keon Coleman is Gabe Davis, bro.
I don't know about that. I think he's a bit better than Gabe Davis.
He's the same style player as Gabe Davis. He's a busted play, deep threat. He has more athleticism for go high point the ball, but the style of play is Gabe Davis. And where's Gabe Davis right now? A free agent.
He's oh no, didn't he get signed by Jacksonville?
He went for a day trip to the New York Giants, and they said,
that's what it was. Yeah.
We'll give you a call, and the phone still hasn't rang.
He suffered a wrist injury.
Yeah, hand and
A
wrist.
wrist. It's a wrist.
Yeah. Come on, bro. What? Wait a minute.
Dude, it was a grade 1 injury, for Christ's sake.
You can't run? Can't run routes? Oh, no. Wait.
Well, you gotta be able to
film?
hold on.
Was
You gotta
his
be able to
broken?
catch the fucking
His
football.
eyes, he can still run. He couldn't watch film. He couldn't talk to none of that, huh? No, that doesn't happen. And what if it was his wrist injury on his non-dominant catching hand?
Well, if you ask Quentin Johnson, you need fucking both hands to catch the goddamn
He
football.
needs 4 of them, bro. He needs his toes and everything to catch the ball, and he still can't do it.
Listen, I think you're
Keon Coleman
underrating
was
him.
overdrafted, and he will continuously overvalued because of the offense he's in.
It sounds like Nino wants you to flip your dog tag and dog out.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Listen,
You got to bring one in and let one out, dude.
Yeah.
I think Keon Coleman could be the big play guy for that. He could be a better best ball guy than a dynasty asset. I mean, I think that's fair. But the guys he's going around, like the Khalil, would you rather have him or Khalil Shakir?
Palmer. That's it.
No, that's fucking insane. Come on, bro.
That's it.
How are you taking Josh Palmer over Khalil Shakir and fucking?
Because they've had a slot guy that's changed for every year for the past 6 years. That sucks, dude. This is what they want. They want that slot guy, and they can never get him. Just like the Chargers wanted that second running back to Austin Eckler, and they could never get him. So they finally got Amari Hampton. Eckler's gone though. 5 years in a row, the Chargers have drafted a backup running back to Austin Eckler. 5 years in a row, dude sucked, right? 5 years straight, we got a different slot receiver, whether it be through free agency or the draft for Buffalo Bills, and 5 years in a row, he sucked. I heard last year, Khalil Shakir was supposed to be step up and do this.
He did.
What's so good about? What do you have? 35 receptions?
No, he had way more than that, bro.
Oh, what's way more?
He had over 800 yards receiving.
That doesn't necessarily mean he had.
Yeah, 821 yards, 76 receptions, 4 touchdowns.
He had 76 receptions?
Yeah.
And he only got 800 yards, huh?
Yeah, it was short yardage stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So there's
These
no
are
after
slow.
the catch, right?
Yeah.
Oh, another guy with an A dot was like 6. Cool.
What is your beef with Khalil Shakir? I don't understand.
I don't think he's very good.
He's solid. That's what they need. They need a guy.
Wait. I thought we were talking about Keon Coleman. What the hell?
Yeah,
Khalil Shakir got to do with
everybody but Josh Palmer, who only produced when fucking Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. He's never been a standalone wide receiver in his life.
Whenever they asked him to fill him for the star, he was a star.
Yeah, because nobody else could fucking do anything, so he just got peppered.
Bro, they were paying dudes $40 fucking million a year.
Yeah.
You think the guy on a rookie deal was gonna beat him when he could just put up the same amount? Nah,
So
bro.
where did Josh Palmer go? On vacation when everybody else was producing?
He was a wide receiver 3 on a team that had Austin Eckler and 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers.
Yeah, but he couldn't do anything without those guys. Like he could only do stuff without them, and then he hasn't been relevant.
How many teams have 3?
I like Josh Palmer, but there's no doubt in my mind he's not better than Khalil
Mike,
Shakir.
I'll buy you a case of beer if Josh Palmer, if Keon Coleman outproduces freaking Josh Palmer, I'll buy you a case of beer. I'll drive it to your fucking doorstep.
Angry Orchards.
You got it. Special
Angry
edition if you want. Brewed from fucking golden apples if you want.
What do you want? What do you want? Pabst Blue Ribbon up there? If you
No.
It's Sam Adams, dude.
Give me that, Sam Adams, give me that nasty Gansett or Modelo, baby. Let's go.
I can't believe you're telling me. So is it Keon Coleman versus Josh Palmer? Is that what we're going with fantasy wise?
Yeah, I want the outside guys. I don't give about the guy who gets who's got an A dot of 6. They can't produce after that.
Dude, is anyone interested? I got a Josh Palmer autograph card I pulled the other day over there. If anyone wants.
The universe is talking here. You understand?
I was like, wait a second.
Are we going total points or are we going average? Points per game.
Whatever you want.
We'll do points per game. I think that's
He's that confident, man. He's that confident.
Hey, we'll go to best 4 out of 5. Okay, so receptions, yards, A dot, touchdowns, whatever you want, baby.
Stop it.
Because I think I'm going to wipe the board.
We'll just do average fantasy points from weeks 1 through 17 because those are the only fantasy weeks that matter. Average points.
If I get a wrist injury, what happens?
If either one gets hurt and misses weeks, it's null and void.
Okay, if I pull a hangnail, that's still null and void.
Absolutely. You got to first of all, you got to hope that Josh Palmer beats out Curtis Samuel and or Elijah Moore.
Curtis Samuel plays the same position as your boy. He's clearly a slot, bro.
You got to
He's
hope
an
he beats him
H-back.
out.
He ain't playing on the
All right.
outside.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's get into who you want to talk about tonight, the New England Patriots, since we just got buried me for the past, 20, 25 minutes. Who do you want to start with? Dog tag or dog house? Where are you going?
I'll go doghouse.
All right. Go right
You
ahead.
started out with the doghouse with a running back. I'm going to put Ramondre Stevenson in the doghouse, and please don't ever bark to come out again. Okay? 3 years consistently, you've digressed. You went from 5 yards per carry to 4 yards per carry to 3.8 yards per carry last season. You had 7 fumbles last season. Bro, you couldn't get out of your own way. You tripped over your own feet, dude. There was points where Antonio Gibson was more productive than you were.
Ooh.
And that's bad.
Right.
Now, Antonio Gibson is still there, but they went out and got an explosive, electric guy that has been everything I see and read about in camp every single day is I hear fast, fast, fast. Making people just stand still, jump cuts, like very explosive. Seems as though he's fully healthy. I honestly think Travion Henderson brings with the receiving game out of the backfield. This guy is going to probably start out as a James White role with them with some runs and then receiving. But I think by midseason, you might be seeing Ramondre Stevenson kind of as an RB2 role and possibly be some guy that gets traded mid-year for a team that needs a running back. I don't think he comes up to his value where he produced. What was he? 28th last year? You want a guy that's 28th when they go out and get it? What did they get him? 38th overall?
Early second.
Those, especially in the way running backs are drafted now, you know what I'm saying? I can't see it, especially because he's going to have a very low contract in Travion Henderson, and I don't know offhand what Ramondre Stevens is getting.
He just got extended last year too.
Yeah,
so
I think that was courtesy because they needed him to produce last year, and he did not produce. So I'm totally doghouse. Like, shut it. Put it on Facebook. I might, if you need adoption, I'm giving papers to this guy. I no longer can deal with it.
He fumbled that job away. He really did, no matter what.
It wasn't just the fumbles, bro. Even when he was running, it was straight line. There's no juice to him anymore. But you know what? Coming out of college, well, he wasn't that much juice. He was just kind of a pinball that kind of went forward. But now he's a pinball that kind of just goes back and forth. So we're not getting the forward. I'm getting 2 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, I think this is Travion Henderson's job to lose at this point. I think he's a really good pass protector, really good pass catcher, really good running back. You and I at the Senior Bowl, I don't know if you remember this, had a conversation with somebody who does some kind of reporting for Ohio State, right? Everything she said about Travion Henderson was just, hard worker, was willing to stay at Ohio State because he wanted to win a championship, even with them bringing in Judkins. He just seems like an overall really good teammate. Right. And I think that's going to gel well for what the Patriots are trying to build right now on that team. So I really like Trey. I think he's going to be a top guy going forward in our dynasty ranks. And I think you really took a fast break layup here on telling us to get rid of Ramondre Stevenson. But I can't disagree more. I mean, I can't agree more. He's got to come.
People are scared as well because we have a shaky low line and questions, and we don't know. So they're going to probably keep Stevenson at the start of the year to protect, right? Because he's better in pass pro, and he's a veteran.
You think he's better at pass pro than Trey?
I think
Trey
great in pass pro. I mean, I haven't really seen Stevenson get quarterback. Drake May didn't really get lit up by Stevenson missing a block, a lot last year. It was more so blindside. He was getting destroyed. Left tackle position was gross. But I mean, you get out produced by guys like. I can't stay healthy, Kenneth Walker, right? Rookie running back. I've only played running back for 1 year, and Tyron Tracy goes to New York when they're stacking boxes against him with Daniel Jones and Tommy DeVito and whoever else was there. He still outproduced Ramondre Stevenson. So, when you're in the 30s for breakaway percentage, that's okay. You want to kind of be towards the 40s, maybe 38, 40, 45. This guy was 18.4% last year. There's no explosion. It is gone. He's that wet firecracker. There's nothing to it. It's just not going to pop. Those things that snap pop, you throw on the ground and nothing happens. You jump up and down on it. Yeah, I mean, his time has come. I don't think that he can produce what he used to produce, and I think that they're trying to go in a different direction. I don't think they want that ground and pound attack anymore. I think they want a explosive back who can kind of like tape the top off the ball if he gets past that first line. And if you got him in a one-on-one against the linebacker, I think Trayvon Henderson is going to beat a lot of those linebackers. And I think that's the style of play that the Patriots are kind of going to. I know when they say, well, Vrabel had, Derrick Henry. That's a unicorn, bro. Like, but look at the guys he drafted behind him. They weren't so much Derrick Henrys.
No, they were shit. I think
I'm just saying, look at Tajay Spears, though. Tajay Spears isn't that pound and guy. He's that jump cut, break a break, boom, pull off a yak. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think Ramondre Stevenson has kind of had his time to go. But a lot of people are going to kind of hold on to it because the Patriots offense, he's going to get touchdowns and this and that. Is he? Is he going to get those touchdowns?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of Stevenson, Rich?
No, I think his time has come and passed. It was very short-lived, but it's a guy that you could kind of probably hold and then trade, I would think, when someone unfortunately goes down, and you could trade him to a different team, get him off get him off the books for you, and get some sort of maybe a little bit of value rather than cutting him. But like he's essentially benched, almost cuttable at this point.
Yeah.
Flex, maybe.
Yeah. Flex and hope for a touchdown, maybe. Yeah,
he's in that middle tier of handcuffs at this point for me. Like. Obviously behind guys like Zach.
Which is crazy because it's like he hasn't really lost the job yet, but like to everyone with eyeballs, he lost the job.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
I think he gets a couple of weeks as a starter. I do think he starts the first 3-4 weeks, and then they're going to see what happens. But I mean, when you're constantly going down and decline, and now your hands aren't there.
What do you think? I think that's to get. Go ahead.
I was going to say that I think that's just to get Henderson, more acquainted with being in the NFL rather than, 100%. Think Stevenson has anything left.
Right. Do you think it's a 60-40 split to start it out? Maybe 65-35?
It could be 55-45, 50-50.
So even closer to even.
Yeah, I think you might get the early downs with Stevenson, and then, anything under 6 yards, you might see Henderson come in there for that explosive play. He also stretches the field, gives Trey more time. You know what I mean? Because now you got a guy that can go out there, and you got to account for him if he rolls out because he has the speed and explosiveness to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. And what we saw Trayvon run a sluggo route in college, which not something a whole lot of running backs are able to do. So.
But we saw him rip apart Oregon in the playoff. Rip apart. And I'm talking about big runs. You know what I mean? Then you saw him with that 50-something yard catch. He took off and gone. Like, this dude can have it. The question was, he came back from a horrific knee injury. The year after that, I didn't really see the explosiveness there. He was, he's under 5 yards. He kind of was like Nicholas Singleton, who kind of fell off, the year after having that big year. But this year, when he had the competition behind him, 1,000 yards, 5 yards per whack, had the touchdowns, had the receiving capability with Judkins there. Yeah, bro, give me all the Henderson.
All right, is that your dog tag, or do you have somebody else for us?
No. My dog tag is the guy that probably nobody is really tagging. Nobody's probably really looking at. And I kind of talked to you a little bit about it in the green room, buddy.
I think I know where you're going.
They bring in Stephon Diggs, and he got cleared. He's not on the pup, and he looks like he's going to be the wide receiver 1. And they have Pop Douglas there. They're not my guy.
He said they're not my guys.
Oh,
Give me all of the Kayshawn Booty shares that we can.
Oh, man, you had me hyped for Stephon Diggs. I'm like, finally,
I think
someone else.
Have a great year. I think Stephon Diggs could possibly get double-digit touchdowns. I don't know if the other numbers are gonna be what people are gonna want in fantasy. Okay, I think Stephon Diggs, because everything I'm seeing early, especially coming off that injury, everything I'm seeing where it's excelling is in the red zone and short yardage situations. And him and Drake may already have that connection. I'm cool with that. You give me 50 receptions, 10, 12 touchdowns, we'll figure out the yardage after.
That's a pretty high touchdown percentage right there.
He's getting 1,000 this year. I'm telling you.
All right, well, I don't know.
I don't know. The only season he hasn't had 1,000 or more was when he got hurt last year. That's the only season, man.
But if
he showed no shit signs, man.
How many games he played was 8, correct?
Last year?
Yeah.
Something like that. And he was on the trajectory to go to 1,000.
8 games, 500 yards. That's barely getting to 1,000 in 8.
Another 8. He's another 8. I don't know, man.
3 touchdowns. Now, what I'm saying is he was in a loaded wide receiver room. I ain't saying the Patriots got loaded with the talent. They got 12 receivers that they're running through every single day that eyes them on at all times, okay? Matt Collins hasn't played because he's been on a PUP, right? Kendrick Boyd is just now starting to get back and acclimated. Last year, he was, down the stretch, their best receiver, okay? And Keyshawn Boutte didn't play for 5 games. The first 2, he was inactive. The next 3, Brissett was the quarterback. They averaged 17 pass plays per game. 17 in a room where they just drafted 2 guys in the first 4 rounds that they were trying to get on the field and get production out of, right? And they were trying to feed Pop Douglas. As soon as Drake May came up, 10 games straight with Keyshawn Boutte, he only had 2 games less than 5 targets. He was the target. And then you watched him shit on Buffalo. Okay? Both games against Buffalo, he scored. Shit on them. Sauce Gardner with Jacoby Brissett as the quarterback. When they came back and beat the Jets 25-22, 36-yard play down the stretch with a minute 20-something left to go on Sauce Gardner. Had that guy spun around like a freaking top, dude. Caught the play. He was the reason they won the game. He got him to the 6. Yeah. This dude didn't matter the coverage. It didn't matter the guy facing him. You got to understand, Keyshawn Boutte's last 2 seasons in LSU were not your typical years for a kid in college, okay? You went from going against Ole Miss and shitting on them, right? And Alabama the year before, your coming out party. Maybe he is this Odell Beckham type wide receiver. He had that capability. He made the Odell Beckham fucking catch in the end zone against Ole Miss in that year.
He was a 5-star too, right?
Absolutely, and he showed it, bro. This dude against Alabama and Ole Miss alone, over 300 yards, 5 touchdowns. I mean, you could sit down the rest of the season. Those numbers against that program, you're like, oh shit, right? The next season, hurt his leg, tried to come back from it, or foot, whatever it was, ankle, came back too early, hurt it again. Had issues with the coaching staff, was kind of checked out. Had a kid in the off season. Okay, so now he's coming into his senior year with a baby, behind the schedule on a new scheme, right? Where he might not be, where he wasn't the guy and he wasn't used to that. Took him a little bit to get into it, finally got into it, and we started to see a little bit of what he could have been, some flashes here and there. He had a couple games, and then he got drafted to a team who couldn't figure out the quarterback, all the offensive line. They had defensive guys that are on offense, right? Like, it was a shit show the last year of Bill Belichick's regime. Yet the guy stuck out. And everything you hear about in camp, like I said to you, he plays with the ones and 11 personnel, 12 personnel, run schemes, pass pro. He's on the field on the opposite side of Stephon Diggs on every freaking snap. When you run the ones, to me, that screams, I want this guy to be a top 2 wide receiver in my group, right? And I want him on the field at all times because I think there's going to be an outbreak from this guy because I want him at every play. He needs to be on the field. Like I said, he finished with the same exact ranking as Stephon Diggs last year with only a 2-game difference. And in those 2 games, he had 3 targets with 2 receptions because Jacoby Brissett could barely throw the ball 5 yards downfield. When Drake May came in, this guy was the guy that pushed the ball downfield, 16 yards per catch, right? This was the guy that had those touchdowns in tight coverage. The touchdown against Elam against Buffalo was double coverage against the pylon, toe tapped and held onto the ball while going to the ground. We've seen multiple catches like that from him last year. And every single day so far at camp, he has been a stud and shown out. He has a connection with Drake May, and now he's going to have an offseason and full year with him. I think this guy has the opportunity to go 50 for 706, and I'll take that as a low-end wide receiver 2, possible wide receiver 3 for dirt cheap at ADP, for dirt cheap at the value. People were ready to cut this guy because they think he's going to get cut or traded. I would try to scoop. He's probably on that free agent list, to be totally honest with you.
Oh, probably. And not only that, like we're talking, that's probably wide receiver 3, even nice flex numbers, to be honest with you. That's a solid flex option. I like what you said about the 2 wide receiver sets in practice. That was kind of the argument I made for Romeo Doubs 2 weeks ago because that's been the guy that they use in those situations. So that is someone they trust. And that also leads to make me believe that he's also a good blocker and they want him out there on situations like that where they're going to run the football. I like Kayshon Boutte. Obviously, there was some off-the-field stuff for him coming out of college, too. That's also part of the reason why he fell. It's a crowded room there, right? It's a very crowded room. They don't have –
It is.
They got to have somebody. What's that? I agree.
It is, but it's not. So, like, I know you love Baker. I don't think he makes the team.
That's possible.
I don't think Jalen Pokes is literally teetering with making the team, bro. When they give you all the time in the world to recover from a soft tissue injury, you're soft, right? And you come back and the first 2 days of practice after they gave you all this time to recover, right? In the offseason, you're on a stationary bike, bro.
Yeah.
Bad look for a soft tissue injury. I think it was a cover-up, but he can't get the playbook, and he's having trouble. I've always said it from the beginning. He wasn't the best, the number 2 in Washington. The only time he shined was when Jalen McMillan went out.
Right.
When Jalen McMillan was in there, it was Odunze and McMillan, and Polk struggled to even get a rep. Okay? But when he was getting those reps, they were against threes.
Yeah.
He got overvalued because he fit the scheme of what Drake May likes to do. The middle of the field receiver between the hash. They thought he would have fit, but he can't catch on to the scheme. So I don't know if that second round value is going to save him. Matt Collins
on a different regime too.
Right. Matt Collins hurt. Barefoot McGee. He likes to walk the streets. He's
a weirdo, dude. We already know that. We had him here, dude. He's a weirdo.
2.0, And then Kyle Williams is Katy Perry right now for the Patriots, bro. He's hot the first couple of reps in training camp, and then like we talked about in the green room, I take a lot of stock in the final 2-3 sessions of camp. He seems to fall away down the stretch when it's 11 on 11s, 7 on 7s. Cool, bro. You're beating 1-on-1s, but there's gonna be 10 more guys on that field when you're playing. You're not gonna just have a wide open field. He does catch a touchdown here and there, you know what I mean? But again, like with Jalen,
especially big plays too, though.
Yeah, one good thing he does, he takes 3-4 steps back, and then what? I said to you again. Afton Chisholm, savvy route runner, small, compact guy. They're in a 2 or 3 on a Patriots squad that can cover this dude, but he's struggling to get on the field with the ones. It's Pop Douglas is the slot guy. He will be that guy, and then it's Kendrick Bourne. So, yeah, it might be crowded, but if you separate
who's good, here's the problem.
Separate the production and who's produced and can catch a system. Bro, Booty's been there for 3 systems. He's got better every year that he's been there. He has a connection with Drake May. He is the outside guy, and now he's going to draw the 2 on the outside because the 1's going Diggs' way.
The problem is, year 1, he didn't do shit because he was suspended, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It was Mac Jones.
It was the gambling thing, right? He was suspended for the gambling stuff, if I'm not mistaken, year 1.
On the Patriots? I don't know if he got suspended on the Patriots.
I thought he got suspended.
I thought all the suspensions were on LSU.
Let me double check that. I thought he got suspended coming out. Hold on one second. But I do think he outproduces a guy like DeMario Douglas this year.
Yeah, Douglas had 87 targets. Booty had 68. Douglas had 66 receptions. Booty had 43. And he only had 80 yards more. And Booty had more touchdowns.
Yeah, he did have gets illegal gambling charges.
Booty finished with 121.9, and Douglas had 147. I think that there's a possibility that we do see Kayshon Boutte maybe edge him out in this year. I don't know what the offense is going to be. If it's going to be 60-40 pass to front, if it's going to be 50-50. They're kind of figuring that out on the fly, it seems like. But you got a big body guy that has been battle tested now for 2 seasons out there. They've been struggling to get a wide receiver. This kid seems to kind of be getting better every year. And now like I said, he has that connection. Dude, you watch him at LSU. Take away the off-field shit. As a football player, he's a route runner. He's a downfield threat. He knows where the boundary is with his eyes closed. Ray Charles out there. He's still going to get 2 in. You know what I mean? Like, he knows where the pylon is. He can cook the best of the best. If you listen to the way he's holding himself and the way he's speaking in camp and stuff, they asked him, like, what was the best thing you learned about? He goes, more reps. Just getting more time with Drake. Once I got on the field and I was able to get reps with Drake and we started to get a connection, everything started getting easier. Everything started to slow down. That's what you want to hear. Like, I'm not hearing that from Kyle Williams. I'm not hearing that from these other guys. I'm here, and they're not interviewing these other guys. So why are they putting Kayshon Boutte at the podium? Why is Kayshon Boutte on? No, for real.
Why is Kayshon
Boutte at the podium almost every day. Why is Keyshawn Boutte on the 11 and 12 personnel in the pass pro place? There's a reason for it. And you just start reading the tea leaves. You go back last year. You start looking down the stretch. Last game of the year, I understand it was Joe Milton. Another quarterback. That's why I say battle tested. Another quarter, 7 for 7 for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's the end
against
of
a
the year,
Buffalo
too.
team that was checked out.
Yeah.
But their defense wasn't checked out. Their offensive starts were checked out. So
Rich kind of gave me the little bit of an argument when it came to end of the year stats, especially when teams start to check out at the end.
Oh, he finished higher than Keon Coleman and Dontavius Wicks last year.
Beating Dontavian Wicks to me is just like, you know.
Oh,
nothing.
Dontavian Wicks beat Keon Coleman. So how good is your boy?
Oh,
We're
shit.
talking about a rookie and a dude who's been in the league for 3 years who fucking can't catch a pole. 2 years. All right, he's going into his
second
third.
year.
He's going into his
Oh,
third.
man.
It is
Sorry.
what it is.
I know
By
you
the
like
way,
the dots, but they hurt when they hit.
Butte's didn't end up getting suspended from the Patriots. They dropped the charges. So it was while he was at New England. They ended up dropping
But
it.
it was nothing, so it didn't matter.
But Rich, tell us about the Dolphins.
Oh, man. I'm
You going
afraid to
house or dogs?
Dogs? With the house and the dogs? What? I don't know, dude. Let me go house first.
Okay.
Because you guys
We all
are
went
doing.
house.
Did we go house or I'll go tag first then?
I already did. All right, go ahead.
All right. So here's a guy that it's gonna pain me to say just because of I don't like a lot of things about him, but that's Tyreek Hill. I don't know who my dogs are down here. Tyreek Hill, his ADP 79.4, going around Pickens, Jamison Williams, and Golden from Green Bay. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I don't know why my dog's running down here.
Rich's ADHD is kicking his ass.
I know,
right
dude.
now.
I hear my dog's chain jangling around. So a lot of times, guys playing Dynasty, they're, what can I win next year? Can I win next year? Can I win next year? I want to win right now. And here's a guy who you can pick up at 79.4 that you can win right now. That's one of the things that is going along, doing Dynasty. I'm trying to figure out why everyone wants to draft for 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now. Why not draft right now? I picked this guy up, dude, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for it all right now. So he just signed an extension. I think it's a 3-year deal, so I think we have a 3-year window.
He wants out of there though badly.
Yeah, the money talks, dude. And he just signed a new deal. What does that matter? Have you watched him play football at all?
I watched him play
last
football. He
year?
looked like shit.
Did you watch last year? 800-yard drop off? What?
Yeah, but dude, come on, he still put up numbers
17
though.
games?
At 79.4. Am I taking George Pickens, who's going to have a meltdown? What do you mean? You're taking George? You're drunk, Mike. You're taking George Pickens over You're taking George Pickens over anyone. You are taking George Pickens over CeeDee Lamb. You're taking George Pickens. You're taking George Pickens over AJ Brown. You're taking George Pickens over. Give me another number one. Dude, you're taking George Pickens over Jamar Chase. You love George Pickens for whatever reason.
Pickens punches.
Here we go. Wait.
In the face. And they get a fight.
Thank you.
Suspended.
There you go. Say it. Preach.
Okay, so when Tyreek Hill fucking drop kicks a baby and gets suspended,
He's done it.
Face down on the ground outside the stadium, still plays the game, bro.
Exactly, Mike. Dude, you're telling me you're taking Jamison Williams over him?
No.
Okay.
Not J-Mo.
Are you taking Matthew Golden over him?
No.
See, there we go. At 79.4, you're taking Tyreek Hill, and you're winning this year.
Fuck yeah. The problem is who's the quarterback?
Yeah, and then they lost their left tackle too. Teron Armstead retired.
Here's the thing: is Tua can only throw to one side of the field. That is why Jalen Waddle has kind of gone non-existent, right? Because they don't rotate him throughout the field. He can only throw to one side of the field, the left side of the field, and that's where that's where Tyreek Hill lines up. But I don't know what was up last year. That's a dramatic drop-off to me. Like
Injuries, they were all injured last year.
Dude, Miami was a nightmare for.
Waddle,
yeah, it was like
everybody was fucking.
It was a boneyard.
Dude,
what do you mean? He played almost a whole season.
Yeah, but he had like that weird wrist injury they kept fucking talking about all fucking year. He had like some kind of hand or wrist injury. I don't remember what it was.
I think the value that you're at, I'm cool. That's at 80 or 70, whatever it is, 79. Is that what you said?
79.4, yeah. So almost 80.
I'll take that all day. I will take that all day.
It's
Jameson Williams is going to all of a sudden tell Amon St. Brown to take a back seat, and Sam Laporta, hey, you guys aren't here. I'm him. I love the training camp hype. because we've
I'm
been
not a
waiting for
JMO
football.
guy. I've never
long,
been a JMO guy.
right? Like Jameson Williams has struggled to stay on the field for 4 years in college and in the NFL for a reason.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I think, though, with George, I think George could be a really nice wide receiver too with that Dallas Cowboys offense with CD on the other side.
Better than Tyreek Hill as a 1? You think
Exactly.
he's gonna? If
You shouldn't.
that
It
was
shouldn't even be a
Tyreek Hill's
thought.
worst season since his second year in the NFL, okay? His worst season in 10 years.
How old is he right now? 31?
Tyreek Hill
30?
is 31. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 30. He's 31, 32. Okay.
Right. So you're depending on Tyreek
31.
Hill, who's been banged up, right? With an offensive line that's gotten worse because Teron Armstead is an all-pro left tackle. Let's be honest here, right? With Tua, who can't stay fucking healthy, comparing him to a guy with Dak Prescott at quarterback.
I don't like Dak. I think he's trash, bro.
I think he's trash. I think
he's trash. He can't win a big
I'm
game.
an Eagles fan.
He's
Dak's
Tony
not...
Romo, bro.
What was that?
He's Tony Romo.
You really want me to defend a Cowboys quarterback? That's fucking.
No, you're just way too high on George Pickens, dude. You think he's a 1,
George
and
Pickens,
he's proven that he's not a 1.
he's
proved
not
that.
outproducing Tyreek Hill's numbers from last season.
No,
He's
and you're
not
getting
over
Tyreek
900
Hill
yards.
you're getting Tyreek Hill at pick 80.
George Pickens, who had fucking Kenny fucking Pickett for quarterback.
Oh my god!
He had.
And we just talked about Tua going like this and fucking every
Right,
other
now
time
his
he's
wrist
in.
is good, and his head's been
Right.
a year without a concussion. He's good.
Dude,
I
that's so
guarantee you
crazy
Tyreek
that
Hill
they.
goes 1,200 yards this year, probably gets 8 touchdowns.
I don't know about that. 1,200? You think he gets 12? You think he's?
Bro, that was an 800-yard drop-off, bro. And you just said everybody across the board was hurt. Now, the only guy I hear that's hurt is the left tackle. Other than that, everybody's
He's
healthy.
retired. No, he's not hurt. He's
Oh,
retired.
he's gone. Right, so he's
Yeah.
gone. And now, where's the injury that you're hearing about? Because I'm not hearing about any injuries out of Miami right now.
I said last year they were all banged up. What are we
But
talking
right
about
now, they're all healthy.
Yeah, right now they've never been fucking healthy.
What do you mean? The year before, he almost went for 2,000 fucking yards, bro.
Tua was fucking healthy.
You just said they're never healthy. Which one is it?
He's really never healthy. Let's be honest.
But he was
Tua
just healthy enough to get him to 2,000 yards.
Yeah. It wasn't 2 years ago. He was 2,000 yards. I don't think it was.
2 years ago, 1,799 yards. The same season
That's
that
not
Tua
2,000.
had three concussions. Can we want to keep going with it?
Like
It's not 2,000 yards.
George Pickens is never going to sniff any of those numbers. I hope we're
He was the
aware of
number
this.
one wide receiver in the NFL that year. He had 1,799 and 13 touchdowns. Wide receiver 1.
That was what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Last year was the injuries. He lost 824 yards. So if you give him half that, which probably should be more, half that being nice, because everybody's healthy now, it's 1,200 plus yards.
I think you guys are overrating Tyreek Hill at this point. At 32 years old.
Hey,
With
31, dude.
you said he was turning 32. You said
Hey,
turning 32.
what did Keenan Allen
Mike,
do
how
at
are you?
31
How are
years old?
you? How are you exactly? What's Mike
How's
Evans
the
doing now
job?
at 30? What?
Mike Evans is a completely different wide receiver. That you can't compare apples to oranges.
Mike, you're as you're comparing
Age,
George Pickens,
what
a
about
fucking bona fide number 2, if he plays at all, to a bona fide number 1. That's insane.
If you're talking about age as your point of fucking fighting and argument, I can talk about any wide receiver in the league as long as they're of the age. Your point was age, homie.
Okay, that's fine. But Mike Evans
Adam
is a different
Thielen
wide
almost had
receiver.
1,000 yards at 39 and a half years old, probably.
He's 35, but
Still, it
No
don't
doubt.
matter no more, bro.
you guys are
Drugs.
insane. I think you're insane. I think he maybe hits 1,000 yards. Maybe.
And I don't think George Pickens does.
You don't think George Pickens does?
No.
Are we
No.
having two bets in
No.
this?
What did he have last year, George Pickens?
Good
When he
question.
was the number 1 there.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
With
When he was the
fucking
number 1. But he
Doesn't
proved he
matter.
couldn't be a number 1 with a shitty quarterback. He proved he
900
couldn't be a
yards.
number 1.
900
on a
yards,
shit
3
team.
touchdowns. As a 1.
903
buddy.
touchdowns and 59 receptions as a
903.
one with fucking Justin Fields, with Russell Wilson, with Arthur
Russell-
Smith. Everyone that says Arthur Smith is a terrible offensive coordinator.
Pickens wasn't a wide receiver 1 in college, bro.
He's never been.
He's never been a wide receiver 1. They made him a wide receiver 1 because Deontay Johnson had a freaking mentalist breakdown.
Well, that's been going on for like 6 years now at this point. But give me George Pickens this year over Tyreek Hill.
That's
Another
insane.
case of beer.
Yeah.
You're
That's
picking
fine.
a wide. You're
getting
picking a
drunk for
wide receiver
months.
too. That's so crazy.
So you
I'm
think
getting-
you guys think Jalen Waddle does fucking nothing?
He's been
Jalen-
nothing.
Jalen Waddle was about to be in the doghouse, and then I chose someone else to be a little bit more spicy. Jalen Waddle has done nothing.
He can't throw it to two sides of the field, so the guy on the right side of the field is better off just sitting down. Why do you think John Smith did well? Because he was the middle of the field eater. That's as far as Tua can throw the ball.
I can't believe you guys. It's fucking insane.
We're
We're talking about Jalen Waddle, who has been a 3,000-yard wide receiver up until last year.
3,000-yard wide receiver
Three
until last year.
of 1,000 yards. So 1,000 his rookie season, 1,300 his second year, of 1,014 his third year. He's done nothing.
Decline, bro. You see that decline? A 300-yard decline and a half
He
touchdowns?
was fucking hurt. What do you like?
Whoa. He got 1,000 yards and he was hurt? No, last year, bro. He went
last
from
year he was
1,400 to 1,000 and half the touchdowns, 8-4, and then the
hurt.
season.
He missed 2 games. We're just
Bro,
ignoring that.
You are puffing this up, baby. You are making any excuse under the sun as to why the numbers don't. Come on.
Did you watch the Dolphins last year? Did you watch them at all? Because Jalen Waddle was coming off the fucking field every goddamn 5 seconds with a back injury. Because that's legitimate.
Oh shit! You were watching every Dolphins game. That's insane.
While he was up in Buffalo watching his love dog.
You guys are
That's where I would drive down to Florida a lot. He's about to drive to Dallas to watch George Pickens.
Rich, in his eye, so he can watch all 22 while he's driving, whatever. Right now, he's watching film. That's why he freezes. It's glitching.
You guys are
A glitch in the fucking matrix, dude. All right,
go with your doghouse, Rich.
I don't know. So I think I got pretty much a good standing ovation on that one, but I don't know how this one's going to take it. Here's a guy that people seemingly jump behind in the fantasy world, seemingly make him a bona fide number 1 running back, and that's Devin Etching. I don't think I'm not with him, man. He's going at 28.5 his ADP. He's going around on Marion Hampton. I'm taking him. He's going around Bucky Irving. I'm taking him. He's going around Jonathan Taylor. Taking him. He's going around Breece Hall. Here's the only one that I'd be like iffy on because I'm not really a Breece Hall guy. But he's a guy who's, hey, he's had huge games. He's had big games. He's had, 2-3 touchdown games. But he always seems to be – there's something always seems to be ailing him. And I'm getting the sense that the Dolphins are thinking that too with drafting running backs each of the last 2 years in Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon, and they brought in Alexander Madison.
I forgot
in 2024, he had 907 yards with 6 TDs. 2023, 800 yards with 8 TDs. There's nothing really overall impressive by these numbers that I've seen. And, combine that with them picking – they've always seemed to have a big running back room. It's just, to me, I'm like, I'm not going that. Every one of these guys I'm naming, aside, like I said, with Breece Hall, I'm taking them.
Mike, before you try to kill me on this one, because I'm with your boy Rich. Hey, he had 100 more carries last year than he had the first year, and only had 107 yards, bro.
Yeah.
That's 1.07 per attempt, dog.
Hey, it's an improvement.
I'm sorry, dog. You got more of the load and barely produced better, and you had half the touchdowns. They went out and got another guy, bro. He's not solidified as the one. Jalen Wright might be more of a one by midseason than Devin Achane is. I think Devin Achane might be that home run hitter.
I have no argument, believe it or not. I mean,
oh my God, I stunned them. I stunned them.
Rich, we've talked about that a million times. Like
I know you're not as big on the Achane guy, but like as the more drafts that you keep roping me into, and the more I see him go as high as he's been going like back end 1, early 2, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Fuck that. No, there's no way I can justify doing that.
I'm trying to find the stats without Tua for Devon Achane. He's averaging, well, I'm just going to go off the top of my head. I know for a fact he was under 10 points per game fantasy-wise without Tua. Obviously, you got to take some of that with a grain of salt because most offenses decrease when their starting quarterback's out. But you got to depend on Tua being healthy for Achane to be good. You got to depend on Achane to be healthy to be good because he was healthy last year. He played a full season. He did have some banged up games where he left, came back.
Yeah, that's what
whatever.
it seems like. It's not like he misses weeks, but he misses like plays.
Quarter.
He misses strides,
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
what the fuck is going on? It's like
Yeah.
every time you throw him in your lineup, you're like, oh, he's out for 15, 20, 25 plays, and you're like, what the?
And that's
is
why,
going
like,
on?
this offense scares the fuck out of me because I mentioned Teron Armstead. Obviously, as a left tackle, that's huge for your running back, right? That's huge for the entire offense when your left tackle retires. Devon Achane's been a sell for me. We've gone over
real
this.
quick. I don't know if wait. Never mind. I was like trying to figure out what
it would
way.
be a right
yeah, I'm like
tackle
so.
it would be
yeah,
a right tackle
okay.
for.
Hey,
Yeah.
so, but the thing is, his value and why I think he goes at the back half of the one and early second is because he had 80 receptions last year, right? Didn't he have
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
stupid
it was a crazy number of receptions for him.
78 receptions on 87 targets and 6 touchdowns for 600 yards. I mean, you're getting that out of a running back. That supersedes the 400 yards that you didn't get out of him on the ground, because you get the PPR
Yeah, that's a fair
points.
point.
So if you're looking at him as a pure running back, I'm out. But the way we judge most fantasy leagues right now with the PPR capability,
yeah,
I
guess
can see why you got the tag on him, but I might loosen up the leash, a little bit.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I got destroyed for saying Hampton over Achane.
I
Really?
wouldn't do that right now. Not right now.
You wouldn't do it right now?
Not right now. I don't know.
It's it's tempting though, man. It's tempting.
You got a guy that's proven to you, even in a
yeah.
shitty offense
that's
that
always
was hurt, that he could
that's
still get
always my
80 reps
argument,
when
dude.
Skylar Thompson was throwing him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I can't go
right
against
now,
that because that's always what I say. You go for the known rather than the unknown. As we walk into the MLB trade deadline, I've been beating this down, to liken it to MLB. You trade away the prospects to get what you know.
100%.
It's right. It's hard to kind of say, I'm going to go for this guy who may flame out. I personally, Hampton, I was high on Hampton. Mike, you know this. I didn't have him separated by that much with him and Genty. But it would be at least tempting.
It's tempting. I mean, I would do it.
I would need a little bit more.
Actually, I don't know.
You would
I need a little bit.
Let me see.
Even what, like a third, maybe?
That'd
You
be
have to
fine.
get something.
I would just need a little bit of sauce on it because to be honest with you, maybe mid-season it would make that flip, and Hampton I would take over Achane. But in those first 7 weeks or 6 weeks, those first 4 victories you get out of those 6 are huge.
Unless Najee ain't playing.
Hey, I just don't see Jim Harbaugh relying on a rookie running back to start the season when you have Justin Herbert fully healthy back there and a young loaded kind of wide receiver room with tight ends. Like they have a bunch of running backs for a reason, though. You know what I mean? Like Vidal.
That's right. That's what
they drafted another guy. They signed another.
Well,
guy
the Dolphins had a bunch of backs too, though. We just talked about that.
Agreed. But like I said, I got production on both running and receiving out of Achane, no matter whether my lineman was banged up, no matter whether my quarterback played or didn't play. You know what I mean? Like, even with 2 stud wide receivers out there, he still got almost 600-yard receiving and 70-something. If it's half PPR, bro, that's 35 points off the rip just by catching the ball.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if Barry Hampton's going to get 70 receptions, bro.
He can get 40.
Yeah.
It's half.
Yeah, that's half. But then he's also got more probably.
You think he rushes for 1,000 yards?
What's that?
You think he gets over 1,000 yards in his rookie year? I don't think so.
It depends on Najee. It really depends on. If Najee doesn't play right away, I think it happens because I think if Najee misses maybe the first 2 weeks and Hampton looks good, I think he holds that job for the year. That would be my argument. Is if he gets the beginning work of the season and he looks good, I don't think Najee, because Najee then misses all of training camp with a brand new team. He's with one eyeball. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what the Chargers look like without Najee, because I do think Hampton. I mean, they took him in the first round for a reason, right? They have a really good offense, especially with Slater and Joe Alt on the tackle position. They brought in Mekhi Becton from the Philadelphia Eagles at guard. They have a decent offensive line. I think they're going to improve this year. So I think
also drafted Sanders, right? Raheem Sanders, Rocket Raheem from South Carolina.
He's they fit their 6th round, if I'm not mistaken.
So they have him. They have Achane as well, and then who was the other guy?
Achane? No, not Achane. You're talking about
no, not
Vidal.
Achane. They have Vidal, and they have
You
Somebody's
guys are
not
confusing me
making
now.
that.
We're talking about the Chargers. I'm talking about how fucking Chain's in my fucking doghouse.
Well, he was
Well,
saying
because
Hampton to A Chain.
me and our buddy Chev have had this ongoing feud about A-Chain versus Hampton. He's pro A-Chain because of everything you guys have said, what you've seen. I'm going with Hampton because of what we could have, like a full 4-3 down skill set.
I could win the fucking lottery tomorrow, but most likely I'm not going to.
Yeah,
Right.
A-Chain
I could win the lottery tomorrow. Doesn't mean I'm quitting my job today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I get it.
That's
but
yeah.
A-Chain could also retire tomorrow for no fucking reason. Like any of these things.
Amari Hampton could walk outside of his house and get hit by a car tomorrow too. I mean, why keep going?
But he's also 220 pounds. He might be able to take knockouts. I'm kidding.
Oh God.
All right, so let me get into the Jets. We'll go with the doghouse first. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to give you guys some stats real quick. I'm going to ask you who is the backup running back that I'm talking about in this situation. All right? This running back from weeks 13 through 18, the Jets were out of it at this point. So they're starting to use more of their running back room at this point. One of these running backs had points per game 4.4 on 109 snaps, 30 rushes, 105 yards, 3.5 yards per carry, 9 receptions, 62 yards. The other had 7.6 points per game, 104 snaps, only had 110 snaps total for the year, 26 rushes, 156 yards, 6 yards per carry, 1 TD, 8 receptions, 63 yards, and a touchdown. Who's who in that?
Allen,
Which one is Allen?
the first one.
Yep. Braylon Allen is going to be my doghouse for the New York Jets. I have never been the biggest Braylon. That was a good call by Rich. That was a good call by Rich there, that Braylon Allen. Because when a team is out of playoff contention, you start seeing more of the rookies. You start seeing more of the RB2s, the RB3s. Isaiah Davis came in and looked better than Braylon Allen, who they took earlier in that draft. I've never been the biggest Braylon Allen believer. I think he's a good between the tackles runner. I think he's got okay hands. Isaiah Davis is very similar, but he's got more speed to him, more build-up speed. I think the hands are close. I think, to me, Breece Hall is the one in that room. I don't understand why the Jets refuse to use him, right? I don't understand why. But to me, where you're taking Braylon Allen in startups, he's 167.9. He's going ahead of guys like the aforementioned Jalen Wright. I think I would take Jalen Wright over him at this point. I would take Ray Davis over him at this point. I would take – might call me fucking crazy on this one, but I might take Tyler Algier over him at this point because I know Algier's going to have a role. Then you got wide receivers he's going ahead of. It's Cedric Tillman, Jalen Royals, Pat Ryan, Wan'Dale Robinson. I am not taking fucking Braylon Allen over any of those wide receivers for mention. I think Braylon Allen could be a decent sell at this point for that early third, late second round pick. Early third's probably the right range. I would be flipping Braylon Allen. I just don't see it. If you're being outproduced by Isaiah Davis at the end of the season, that brings a little bit of problems for me. What do you think, Nino? Am I crazy for this one?
Hold on 1 second. I gotta bounce out for a quick second.
Okay, go ahead. Rich, what do you think of Braylon Allen?
I think just pretty much because the Jets. I'm not high on Breece Hall, so I feel it's kind of like an open room, almost. You know what I mean? I like Allen. Davis did produce at the end somewhat, but
produced more, which I was kind of surprised that was the case. I was just going through it, and I was like, I was a little shocked to see Isaiah. We're talking almost 3.5 yards. No, sorry, 2.5 yards per carry more than Braylon.
But I just also think they're going to kind of have a better set offense with the field.
Yeah.
So you're kind of going to figure out early on, how it's going to go, which running back is going to get the most snaps, that type of deal with the first couple weeks. So I don't know. I'm intrigued by all three of them, to be honest with you. Or
Davis
two,
is
Allen. Yeah, sure. I don't know, dude. He could be picked up at the end.
Well,
Maybe.
I know you missed the ADP conversation at 167.9 for Braylon Allen. He's going ahead of guys like Ray Davis. Who would you rather have?
Allen or Davis?
Yeah.
I think I'm honestly going to go Allen just because Davis is kind of dude. He's old. He's like up there. 20. He's like 25. He's going to be 26. His second year. So
He looked good though in the situations that he got with Buffalo last year. How about Jalen Wright?
yeah,
You just put Devon Achane in the doghouse. So
yeah. So I got to go probably right there.
And then how about Tyler Algier, the last one? We're talking handcuffs at this point.
Are we?
Dude.
Are we though?
Algiers kind of he's intriguing too.
Yeah, he is.
Brees Hall just came out and said that he's not even getting the extra year on his contract, homie.
Yeah, I heard that too. I was very confused by that.
Interesting.
I'm selling Brees Hall, bro. I'm holding Braylon Allen.
You're holding Braylon?
I'm holding Braylon Allen because I think Brees Hall gets traded. May even get traded before the end of camp.
Really?
Yeah, bro. When you get a guy like Brees Hall and you use him however you want to use him, and then the very next year you take another running back with a high draft pick.
Was he? He was a 4th-round pick, wasn't he?
Was he 4th round? Yeah. Which is where running backs are kind of going. So he's like,
yeah.
I'm not saying highlight.
In a weaker class. In fairness, that's a weaker class, though.
Right. So
a much weaker class.
And the stats you said were fine, but you're looking at a guy that only had, Braylon Allen only had what, 92 attempts. Brees Hall had 209, bro. I mean, we can't even put him in the same classification. Brees Hall was a solid running back, and that's not something that I'm too impressed with. Granted, you had Aaron Rodgers there, right? And Aaron Rodgers wasn't himself, but you knew Aaron Rodgers was throwing the ball, so he wasn't facing stacked boxes.
Would you be surprised? I mean, I could see what you're saying with Brees being traded, but to me, you brought in Justin Fields, obviously, right? You're hoping he's the quarterback for your future. That's in my mind what they're hoping for, right? Why not give him the best possible situation with Brees Hall still as your running back, and then instead of trading him off? Like
I think you have Brees Hall and you have Braylon Allen, you have David Montgomery, and you have Jahmyr Gibbs to an extent. Brees Hall is your Jahmyr Gibbs. He's not as flashy, but he can make the miss, right? He's more of the agility guy. And then you have Braylon Allen, the upright runner, run right through you. Whether it's on the 10 or the 50. This guy's an absolute monster when it comes to run. If they use him correctly, with Fields being a mobile quarterback, I think you would have great success with a 2 running back. But I don't think that. I think Brees Hall doesn't sit right with that management. Bro,
I can agree with that. Yeah, because it's every year you every year it was like, even in, I play a lot of redraft TV. It's like every year he's one of the top 2 running backs you're taking, and every year he's just like where are numbers at? Yeah, right.
Average,
right.
The follow-up question to what you said about, because I did see what you said, that Brees doesn't feel that he's a part of the future, if I'm not mistaken, was kind of the quote he said.
Yeah.
Would you?
Which that should tell you right there. That's not good. That's not good to say, dude.
No, it's very shocking. But
if someone on the Eagles is saying that, I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Right.
No, dude, red flag, But
would you use that to possibly flip Braylon Allen and get a little bit more than what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, in that respect, yeah. But I mean, if we're talking about which guy do I want to hold more or put a tag on, I'm going to hold the guy that seems like he's going to be there a little bit longer, and then the guy that they're going to want there for the future is probably going to get more reps in the long run.
Yeah.
Listen, maybe it's just because I'm not a big Braylon Allen believer, right? 3.6 yards per carry doesn't really do much for me. Obviously, that's
one season.
No, listen, I'm agreeing with you. Rookie season, bad offensive line. They upgraded the tackle position, so that should be positive. I would say Justin Fields at this point is an upgrade over Aaron Rodgers. Maybe. We're hoping for the best success. 4 drops as a pass catcher too on 26 receptions is a little alarming for a running back, because you do want some more receptions than that. Obviously, I don't know. I don't think I'm taking him over any of those receivers I mentioned either.
I don't think I'm taking him over any receivers. I'm probably taking Tyler Algier over Braylon Allen, because there's a question, and maybe he might still only be the backup running back or the committee. But we know Algier is still getting his reps and his time, even with Bijan going off. We saw it 2 years in a row. So
he's got to be the most impressive handcuff
Yeah,
That there
I mean,
is.
people got to be
Yeah.
calling about Algier at every trade deadline.
Mhm.
Like they got to be like, "Yo, what's the deal with this guy?" Because I mean, he has that. And when he had it the year he was the guy, he ran for 1,000
Mhm.
yards or damn near close
Yeah.
to it. So
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that for me is like he falls. Braylon Allen and why I'm kind of out. He falls in that middle tier of like handcuff running backs that I kind of am more impressed with the guys that he's going ahead of. Right. So like Algier, like I mentioned, Jalen Wright. I don't know. I don't think he's over that. Obviously, he also came out of the draft super young, wasn't he? He was 20 years old when he came
20,
out.
20, and he got. No, I think he just turned 21 or whatever it is.
So he's got some time, but I don't know. Nothing really impressed me about Braylon Allen's tape. Nothing impressed me from year one. Again, a debacle Jets team. So take all that with a grain of salt. But if
I
I
was
could
a huge
flip,
Brees Hall guy. Like I thought.
yeah,
he
so
was
am I.
RB1
I
in
still
that
think
class.
he could. I still think he could be good.
I haven't seen any of that electricness that I saw.
No, dude. This is what year four? I hit four.
Yeah.
Four of
right?
him.
This is
It's
going to the
four.
year 4. Yeah.
It's and it's like every year you're like I said, he's the guy, and he gives you nothing. He gives you middle of the pack numbers, and it's. I'd be upset if I used one of the top picks on him.
He's never got 1,000 yards. Yes, he was close 2 years ago. He had 980, but he's never got
He's
1,000
also
yards.
banged up too, if I'm not mistaken.
And he does like outside of his first year, he doesn't really average more than 4.23 yards per carry. And I've been told that that's shit by you.
Me?
Yes. When we talked about James Cook before, we had this argument.
I didn't say no. That's not what I said. I didn't say 4.2 yards per carry was shit. I think anything over 4 is solid because that's what you want. It keeps you on pace per down.
Right. I could have sworn we had a discussion when we were talking about these top tier running backs, and James Cook was at the bottom of the top tier running backs, and you were like,
"What, during the CFB episode?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that was the case.
All right, I'm gonna have to go back and check.
If I said that, I must have actually been drinking that time because I've been a firm believer over. Listen, I try to get on my Madden running backs over 4 yards a carry. That's how much I care about that. But
agreed.
Going to my dog tag for the New York Jets, and I think this one's pretty easy because he's pretty much the only real target on that offense is Garrett Wilson. And the reason why he's a dog tag, and yes, it's a layup, but he's become obtainable at this point, right? For years, for the past several years, it's been, he's a dynasty top 8 guy. He's a dynasty possible guy who could get into the top 5. He finally has fallen into the 12, the 13 range where he becomes an affordable price tag, right? You're talking about a guy who's dropped down from the middle to the late second to the 34th pick in ADP. So that's a pretty decent drop off there. He's still super young. He gets his former Ohio State quarterback and Justin Fields. Rich has talked about that at nauseum. I think
you've been listening to me.
Yeah, I think Garrett Wilson's prime.
Shooter.
I think Garrett Wilson's prime to have that year we've been hoping for.
Finally, dude.
Yeah,
so,
finally.
Thank
but
you,
he's
God.
like, that's
thank
the
you
thing.
for picking him, dude.
He's finally gotten to the price
that
I'm comfortable for, right?
Well, not only the
ADP
price he's. God, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Price of ADP is 34, and then you're talking about a guy you would have to pay multiple firsts to get at some point. And
dude,
now
you had, like 2 years ago, you're like, oh God, I got to give up 3 first-round picks because he's going to be the guy.
Yeah, and now it's finally, he finally has that opportunity. I think this is the time to strike on Garrett Wilson if you haven't already. I just, 101 receptions last year, 1,104 yards, 7 TDs. And he did that with Devontae Adams for, I think, mostly half the season. So that's impressive.
So for me, it's finally like Garrett Wilson come out. He had another one of my boys who stinks, Zach Wilson, who I think was thrown into the fire. Yikes, I caramba. Then he kind of ran into the buzzsaw that was Aaron Rodgers, which is the kiss of death in any locker room, in my opinion. Where he picks his guys, he calls his friends off of. He's like an evil version of Adam Sandler when Adam Sandler makes all his movies. He's like, I'm going to call all of my friends to be in this movie. He calls all of his friends. He's like, I want you to be on my team. So I'm kind of waiting for that with the Steelers. He brings in Randall Corn on the cob off of the couch. He brings Alan Lizard, which kind of, those aren't names, but they're Aaron Rodgers' names. They're his guys. You know what I mean? So Garrett Wilson, who is the, prime draft pick and the big, next big thing in wide receiver. Well, he has no cohesiveness with Aaron Rodgers. So he kind of sat behind. And remember last year he was talking about wanting to get traded, or was it last year or early the season before? He was talking about, I don't know if I'm going to get extended. I might want to test the waters, go elsewhere, because I firmly believe that Aaron Rodgers is the guy who kind of fucks shit up. And,
he's a
now
cancer in the locker room for sure.
Right. He is. And there's no, any ways about it. You got him now, and I don't want to go off tangent with Aaron Rodgers, saying, he's going to work with Will Howard and anything he can do, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but you're 20 years in. Right. Yeah. You're 20 years in, and now you're, you see that you're at the end of the rope. But, with Garrett Wilson, he finally has his guy from Ohio State who previous episodes, I went over the numbers that he's had with him. He has a cohesiveness. He has a gel with him. And I think this is going to be huge for him. And that's why I was so sad when I read, those 5 minutes of, oh my God, hey, there goes, Justin Fields, ACL, MCL, PCL, meniscus, Achilles. Let me name every other muscle in your lower leg. And it was like, nah, it's just a dislocated toe. Pop that bitch back in, put the camera on the helmet, which I seen on him, which is super weird. Never seen that before. And then we're rolling. I think that's the only tape I've seen of a team. Like, I haven't seen the tape behind the camera, but I've seen tape of him with a camera on. Super weird. But I'm thinking that this is Wilson's year. This is going to happen. It's going to be big.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's been a long time coming, my friend. Well, that is going to be it for the Dynasty Dogs. Nino had to bounce. Shout out to him for jumping on with us, and you guys grilling me for an hour plus.
Pause, yo.
I said grilling me. Grilling. How's that?
I think you said drilling me.
No, I said grilling me for an hour.
I'm dying. My bad. Never mind. I take the pause back. I think you said drilling me for an hour. I was about to drive to your house and punch you in the face.
No, I said grilling.
All right.
Well, that'll be it. We will see you guys next week when we are back. I believe we're going to talk about the NFC East. Our Philadelphia Eagles will be part of the conversation. We'll see how that goes. From Mike Anthony, Rich, actually, you give us what you have, your final thoughts here.
Okay, yeah. You can find me at the bottom here. It says X at Dynasty Dog Rich. But more importantly, us over at the Dynasty Dogs always care about mental health, and most important to us is men's mental health. If you have problems, you have issues, get out there, talk to your friend, talk to your boy, talk to your therapist, talk to your priest, talk to yourself, talk to anyone, but get out there, be vocal.
Absolutely. And again, thank you for Nino Brown jumping on, and have a good night, everyone.